Hello and welcome to another video of Android programming. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to implement Android Recyclerview. We use Recyclerview to present very long lists, or even short lists. For example, here in Android website, they say if your app needs to display scrolling list of elements based on large data sets, if you want to display very large data sets of lists, and data that changes frequently anytime, then you should use a recycler view as described on this page. So here they are recommending that in case you want to implement a very long list, for example, the way you see messages in WhatsApp app, or the way you see inbox in the Gmail application, they are very long list of items, and you want to present it then in your app, then they recommend you to use Recyclerview, because it is implemented with best practices, whereby and gives us a lot of control that we might need to implement a very long dynamic list. So in this video, we're going to learn how to implement this this recycler view. So with that much said, let us start, but without forgetting the fact that Recyclerview will only display an element at the moment. It will only create an element at the moment when we need it. So that's why it beats the list view. We have also a list view, but the disadvantage of list view, it creates all the elements when you load them. But for Recyclerview, it will only create an element when it is displayed on the screen, and in the future videos we shall prove that. So it helps to control the memory, because if you're having like 1000 elements, want to display them, it will only create those 10 elements or 5 elements that are appearing on the screen at that particular time, and will not create the rest. And that will help us to save our memory as well as our application to be faster without using too much resources. So it is just implements best practices, and it's what Google or Android developers, they recommend for us to be using in case of very long or even short dynamic lists. So with that much said, let us start implementing the recycler view. So here it is. I'm going to follow this documentation of Android, and you can also come along and pass through this documentation. So without wasting much time, I'll go to my Android Studio. There it is. I'm going to close this application that I was running at the moment, and then I'm going to create a new app, and I'm going to choose an empty activity. So I'm going to call this application, my application, maybe 6, and then I'll keep it Java and keep the rest the same. So I just click finish. So let's begin. The application has been created. Here I'm having the app itself, and then I'm having the layout for the app here. So we begin from the top. So first of all, they say that to implement a recycler view, you will need a dependency. So you'll need one more library, because by default Android apps, they don't come with a recycler view. So I have to add this library inside my dependencies. So I'll copy this. After copying it, come to my application, then come to Gradle scripts, and then come to Gradle module. Not this Gradle my application, no, but Gradle module. So I double click on it, and then I'll come here down on dependency, and then I'll press enter and paste that dependency. I can even comment and say this is Recyclerview. So after doing that, then we have to sync our app by simply clicking here on sync now, and it should be connected on internet. Okay, so our app has finished syncing. This thing is warning, I don't know why. So I can click on it and then click on this red light, suppress noise inspection. No problem. So we'll sync it. And to sync your app, when you're adding a new library, you should be connected to internet. So that step is done. So we go to the next step. So the next step, we will need to create a Recyclerview layout inside our application. So I'll come back to application and then come to our Android, and then we'll create a layout. So I'll just delete this one that was there, and then I'll create here a simple layout, which is going to be a Recyclerview. So this is the one that is there, Android Recyclerview. So I'll click there, or I'll just press enter, and I'll make it match parent, and also make match parent here, and then I'll close, and then press Ctrl Alt L to organize my code. So I'll come back. I've already created that one. I've already created this view. So you can see this view, I just put it where? In our layout. Now, no big deal there. I just put this view inside the layout, and then the preview will be like this. I can put the constraints, doesn't matter, but then put the constraint. So those constraints have been put there. So what else? We come back to our guideline. So instead of Kotlin, we'll choose Java, because we're using Java programming at this moment. So what else? We need to create the Recyclerview instance. Here is in the onCreate. We need to create the Recyclerview, and link it with the one that we have created inside our app. So to create a Recyclerview object, I'll just simply come and copy this, or I can just come and write it by myself, no problem. By just simply writing after the onCreate, just write Recyclerview, and then maybe I can call it Recyclerview. I can call it anything. I call it my Recyclerview, and then after doing that, I'll have to do what? To connect this Recyclerview with this element that I created its existence. But to do that, I will need an ID. I'll need an ID. So to do that, I'll just simply give it an ID, and then I call it Recyclerview. I can call it anything, okay? Recview. I can simply remember. So Recview, and then I'll come here and now link this Recyclerview object with this front end Recyclerview. So to do that, I'll just say Recyclerview is equal to find view what's wrong? Find view by ID, which is ara.id.recview, and semicolon. So let me just put here my Recyclerview, so that we should learn everything step by step. Otherwise, if I put Recyclerview, a lot of things will be auto-filled and you may not understand. I can as well put this one outside here, no problem, but within the class. Okay, so that one done. Here just created the object of Recyclerview, and here I've linked this layout of Recyclerview through its ID with the object that I created here. So we proceed. We are at this point. That one is done. So I can leave this one, say use the improved performance if you know that changes. I mean, if you know that changes in content, the layout is Recyclerview. So here we have to make the Recyclerview with fixed size, because it's not going to change the size at this moment. So what am I going to do? I'll just add this one. I can copy this, but I can as well come and write by myself. So after connecting it, so I can say my Recyclerview.set fixed size, and make it this one true. So after doing that, what else? We have to do what? To create the layout manager, because this Recyclerview, we need a layout manager. We have two types of layout manager. We have the grid layout manager and the linear layout manager. So grid layout manager is when our Recyclerview will be in form of boxes, but the layout manager, I mean the linear layout manager, our Recyclerview will be in form of a list, one below the other. So let's do that. Okay, so to create a linear layout manager, you can see I have an object of linear layout manager here. Okay, so I can either go and create by myself, or I can just come and just paste it there. Just it's Recyclerview.linear layout manager, and then I give it a name. Okay, then after I'll have to make the I will initialize this linear layout manager by simply saying linear layout manager is equal to new linear layout manager, and then I pass the context, which I can simply put this. Okay, so after creating the manager, I will now have to set our recycler view to use this layout manager. So I can just say my recycler view dot set layout manager, and then I can pass this layout manager that I just created before here. So with that set, we shall go to the next step. We shall go to our adapter. So that's where the whole business starts from. Our adapter. So adapter is the one that will be linking the source of data with our recycler view. So before we create our adapter, first of all, let's look at what we want to do. We want to do something like this. Okay, want to do something like this, where we shall have maybe someone's name here, and then we can have their status or about them, and then you can have here the last scene. So an adapter is the one that will be responsible for connecting our recycler view and implement this information that we see here, as well as all the objects, that you connect recycler view with the objects of our data and implement them into what the user will see in the front end. So to do that, we need first to create objects, because these are different objects that we want to create. So, and to create objects, we'll need a model. A model is a class of what we want to present. For example, these one are messages, and each message is having almost the same structure but different information. So we call it a model. Each message is having a model of a name, a model of last message, a model of last time. Each model of a message is having a name, is having information, and then it's having maybe the time it was sent. So you can see all of them, they have the same structure. So what keeps them in a structure, we call it a what? In the same structure, we call it a what? A model, or we can just call it a Java class. Okay, a Java class. So I'm going to create a Java class, and a Java class that I'm going to create for us, we are going to display different users, okay, or user objects. So I'm going to create a class of object of user. So to do that, I'll not make it complex. I'll just simply come here and right click and say new Java class. Okay, and this Java class, I'm going to call it users. Okay, or I can call it user. Okay, so that's going to be a Java class. So let us give the properties to this Java class. I can just call it public. Each user, let us see what we want to make. Each user will have a name, will have maybe the status or about. Okay, about, and then that each user will have a last scene, and then we shall put an icon. Okay, so each user will have a public string. I don't want to make it private, just make it simple. Public string name, and I'll set this name to nothing by default. So I'll duplicate this one. We say that we'll have a what? Should I put status? Okay, let's put status. And then lastly, each user will have last scene. Okay, so that's our simple user. And I'm going to create a constructor so that we should simply set these users when I'll be populating them. So to create a constructor, you just press Alt and insert, and you see different things that you can create in a class. So I'll just select constructor and press enter, and then I'll select all to be in my constructor. So you can just say press Ctrl A and then say OK. Then every time that you want to create a user object, we shall need to provide a name, status, and then last scene, and these things will be set to this element. You can see this dot name is equal to this one, this dot status is equal to this one, and then this dot last scene is equal to that one. So by doing that, we shall have done what? We shall have created our model. Okay, so this is the model. Okay, so after creating the model, we now need to create the what? A single item that the user will be able to see. So a single item that will be presented here. Okay, we need to create a single item that will be presented here. So to do that, I'll just come to layout here, and I'm going to create, right click here and then say new. I'm going to create here layout resource, and I'm going to set it as what? User, or I can call it item underscore user. So this is going to be just our single layout that a user that will be populating at each time we want to present a user. So it should be in small letters because the what is a layout, and I can change the primary layout to be linear layout here if I want to, or I can as well change it from the other side any way that you want. So if I press OK, now you see I'll have this layout here. Now let me change this one to simple linear layout by just simply selecting all and then write just linear layout. So let us what we want to create. We want to create here the name of the user, and then after this icon and this disabled. So to do that, I'm just going to simply create another linear layout, because you can see here we're having this content and the other content on at the end. So I just need to create another linear layout, so I can give it width of match parent. I have, first of all, here I have to give orientation. Okay, orientation, I can make it vertical. Okay, then linear layout, match parent, height, I can put wrap content, and then also height here you have to make it wrap content. Others, if you don't make it wrap content, then each element will be spending 100% of the of the screen. Okay, so I'll make it also here the height wrap content. Okay, so it should be as minimum as the content. So you have here width match parent, height wrap content. So I want to give orientation horizontal, because I want to be my element will be arranged in form of horizontal. It's going to put here now a text view, and this text view will have a width of 0, because 0 dp, because I'm going to measure them according to the ratio, and the height, it will be maybe wrap content, and then I can give here the text, and then I can say no name. So the name will go here, and then I can give after I can give the color. So I can give color, text color. I can make Android black. Okay, so I'll close this, and also I'll have to give the weight. So the weight, I can give it maybe 4. So we shall see that. Okay, so I can give this linear layout also margin left or padding left, of 15 dp, and then padding right of 15 dp. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to put another element which will show this time here. So I'll just duplicate this text view. Okay, now the weight, I'll make it 1, so that I should be able to see the time on that side, and or maybe I should make this one 3. Okay, that should have enough room for the time, and then I'll come and make this weight to have gravity of end, that the text should be on this very end, you can see. Okay, after doing that, I'll come and reduce the color here from black. I'll just leave it to the plain color of Android, that will give it. Okay, so maybe the font size I can change the size. size. I can make it maybe 16 dp, and also come and change this one, make it 16 dp. So after that we need to do what? To put this bottom one, also bottom one, which is having the element and the icon. So I'll just simply copy this layout, the whole of it the way it is, or I can just have just a single layout, a single layout, and put it outside this linear layout, because they're going to be just in the same in the same lane. So I'll come and make this width match parent. Okay, I remove the weight because I'm no longer interested in the weight. This is outside. I'll remove this gravity. Where is gravity? That should be at start, and I'll also give it padding left, padding or margin left, all will work. Padding left of 16 dp, so that it should be in this with the same with the same size. We begin the same size, and then padding right 16 dp. Okay, so after doing that, I need to put here an icon. So I'll have to create that icon by simply coming to our drawables, right click new, and then I come to to icon, vector assets. I'll just double click here and select another icon that I want to do to appear. Okay, maybe I want this one for check, and then I say okay, and then I can select that one as check, and then I'll just say okay. Check. Okay, I'll give it a name check, and then say next, and then say finish, and then I'll come here and place that icon, because I've placed it in our drawables here. So I'll just come drawable drawable right. Okay, it's going to be at drawable icon check. So we shall have this icon check on that side. So I'll not make it so dramatic. So the remaining part, I'm going to put here this separator that is separating both of them. So I'll just manually put it here, but in the coming videos I'll show you how to use Recyclerview to create the separator itself. So I'll just put here a view that will make it match parent and make a height of 2 dp. And I'll give it a background of 100, maybe gray. Oh, I can just maybe give it 100 black, just to save time. Okay, and then I'll close this one. I can just make it here maybe 1 pixel instead 2 pixels. Okay, so I can give it a margin top that should separate one element from the other. So margin top, I can give it 10 dp, and margin bottom, I can give it 10 dp. So there I've created our simple user interface. Okay, but these elements will need to be identified with IDs, so I'll have to give them ID. So this element, I can give it an ID. So I'll give it name underscore view, so that will be the name view. I'll come here and give this one ID of last seen view. Come here and give it ID of status view. So after having that done, then we have created the layout that will be able to appear here every time you populate a single user object. So with that one done, let us go and now proceed. We have created the object itself, the object structure, as well as the layout structure, and we shall come back to Android. Now what are they saying? What are they talking about? You have to create the adapter. As I told you, the adapter is the one that will be responsible for displaying the layouts as well as populating and handling each data that will appear in our recycler view. So we are going to create the adapter, and this is how the adapter is created. It should extend Recyclerview adapter. It should be a Java class that extends a Recyclerview adapter. So I'll go to my project and create that adapter. So I just simply come to a package and right click and say new Java class. I'll call it user adapter, and then I'll make it extend Recyclerview.adapter. I just press Alt and enter, then I say import class. Okay, then